Good morning and welcome to this Veterans Day, and thank you for the privilege of sharing with you. There was a Presbyterian preacher named Dr. George McCarty. In 1952, he was serving the New York Avenue Presbyterian Church in Washington, D.C. He was from Scotland. He heard his 7-year-old son say the Pledge of Allegiance and noticed he didn't refer to God. Now, Dr. Docker had grown up in Scotland. He said, "We always say, 'Save the Queen' and 'God please save our gracious King.'" He couldn't believe that the Pledge of Allegiance didn't even recognize God. So he decided to preach a sermon saying that our pledge should acknowledge God. That initial sermon actually had very little effect. It was on February the 7th. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower attended his church. Because of advanced security, he knew the president would be coming, so he decided to preach a sermon again, indicating that our Pledge of Allegiance should acknowledge God. Well, the very next day, Representative Charles Oakman from Michigan introduced a bill to add the phrase, "under God," to our pledge. It passed in both the Senate and the House. President Eisenhower signed the law on Flag Day that year. Now, never underestimate what a vision from one person can accomplish. And if you try something and you fail, like Dr. Daughter did the first sermon, hey, do it again, and it can come to reality. On this Veterans Day, I'm grateful to a Presbyterian preacher who had a vision of putting "under God" in our Pledge of Allegiance and was persistent enough to see that it happened. May we always keep it there. And thanks to all of you veterans who have served, and thanks to God who gives us our real freedoms.